I don't really understand, oh, why they do this to me, oh. Saturday Roman, don't say nothing at all. Yeah. 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 I'm hearing whispers on the street about some things that I really can't believe. People talking, spreading lies over me. I don't know why they coming for me. They say I did things that I never done. No. They say that I'm guilty, but I'm not the one. No, no, no.
Liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. I heard rumors around town. People talking and spreading lies. Can't trust nobody who don't have a purpose.
Life Builders Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to making a difference in the lives of youth and adults from all socio-economic backgrounds. We are dedicated to improving the mindset, educational attainment, and whole body wellness for all clients, in addition to creating opportunities for success. My purpose is my passion, and my passion is my purpose.
Just love, just love. Just love, just love. I am so done, I'm so done with you. Ooh, taking. I am so done, I'm so done with you. Ooh, taking you back is something that I don't want to do.
And it was good at first, but within a few months, which was right after I got pregnant, the abuse began. It started with name calling, shaming. His biggest thing was he would call me a fat, ugly pig and how no one would ever love me. After that, the physical abuse began.
I remember the first time Daddy hit me, and I didn't think too much of it because I thought we were just horsing around. He had hit me in my leg.
He wound up hitting me that night. He socked me in my eye. And it wasn't for us like how two women would fight. It was more or less like he fought a dude.
The children may not be physically abused, which mine were not physically abused, but I felt that they were being mentally abused because of the things that they were seeing and the things that they were hearing.
If you don't get out for yourself, do it for your kids, because kids that are exposed to domestic violence can end up producing a perpetrator or a victim. Look at your kids.
Or, you know, something happened to me, you know, to where we get to fighting, I'm dead. My kids don't have a mother no more. And then they have this person as a father that's raising them.
His biggest goal was for me to die. On many occasions he told me that if I ever left him, he would kill me and he wouldn't leave a trace.
And one day, I looked in the mirror and I cried. I cried so hard. And I asked myself, do you deserve this? Do your children deserve this? And I answered myself. I said, no, I don't deserve it, and neither do they.
I am so done, I'm so done with you. Ooh, taking you back is something that
'cause this is the beginning. Cause this is the beginning.
Hotter than fish grease, colder than ice, hot and spice every time when I'm blessing the mic. Straight St. Louis, dirty like a Chinaman rice. You know we buy our forces twice.
Cause this is the beginning.
This.
Cause this is the beginning.
Hey, where the food at?
He's ready to eat, so here you go.
Cause this is the beginning.
Hello, my name is Shanita Booker. I'm a security guard for Ally Universal, and I was chosen to do a makeover. And I went on social media. That's how I found out about it. I went on social media and I seen it posted by Shay. Because I never have time to put makeup on or even dress up to do anything because I'm constantly working. Because I'm a supervisor, so sometimes if my guards call off or I can't get nobody to work, I end up doing it myself. So that's why I really don't have time for myself at times.
Hey! Oh my God! How are you? Oh my God! Thank you. Let me give you a hug. Give me a few minutes and I'm gonna put my client out. Okay?
Okay.
Close your eyes. Okay. Have a cigarette over there.
I am so excited to be here. I've been following Shay on Facebook for a long time, and when she finally put this makeover thing on her Facebook, I was the first one to reply like, me, baby! So I am very excited. I want to do this. I can't wait.
Stephanie gonna shampoo you. She's assisting me today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay guys, so while Stephanie is prepping my model for today, Miss Shanita was our winner for the contest that we had on Facebook. So I'm super excited for her. If you guys did not get a chance to check that out, please feel free to go to Transformer on Facebook and you would definitely be able to go back because we do have other contests coming up. And I'm super excited. Let's get started. Okay, girl, let you get first. You are all done. You have been transformed. You are welcome. And we also want to present you with $50 just so you can have a good time today. You're welcome.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so go get something to eat.
I am.
Coming up are the details for the prom dress giveaway and makeover.
Hi, my name is Mayoli Chenault from Bologna One Fashion. In honor of Black History Month, we're teaming up with Transformer Salon and Beauty Bar for our first annual prom makeover and custom designer dress giveaway. We're looking for one lucky lady from the Inland Empire who is in serious need of some prom assistance. This lady will get to work with me to design the dress of her dreams. She will then receive exquisite services from Lachey at Transformer Beauty Bar for hair and makeup. To be considered, first get your parents' permission. You can have no D's or F's on the previous semester's report card, nor on the current report card. We also would like to see one letter of recommendation from one of your teachers. And lastly, we would like a 3-minute max video of yourself telling us about yourself, your views, your goals, and why we should select you. Please send your video to bologna1@gmail.com.
Hey, so how did you like the makeover?
I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it. She was really good with her hands and everything. She was perfect. I love it. Just don't know how excited I am right now. I feel so good.
Hey. Welcome back again to another Talon at 10. How y'all doing out there in the social media world? I know I've been missing y'all. We've been having to put a lot of stuff Where's Mrs. Wright? All right, she might. Oh, okay. There she go. She just don't have no audio. Your audio not on. Yo, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Probably log off, and log back on. All right, while she get that together, let me see what I could go into. Let me check this picture real quick.
Hola.
Hola, there she go.
What it do, homie?
What it do? I was just trying to check this picture. I resized it and it's still too big for some reason. It must have been super huge.
Wow.
Yeah, it must have been super duper huge.
Well, it's been a while since I've been on.
Oh man, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute. So I guess the thing to do, we always got the, we always got it to where you can promote your business because you know you're about that shmoney.
You're so awesome. Yeah, I've been having a great time with my business. I think that's always cool when you have an opportunity to, scale your businesses, or just have more people involved and engaged in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so our Galentine's event was so cool, just because I got to meet some other ladies and, get to support them and the business ventures and the things that they got going on. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, first tell the viewers about your business. For
Okay.
those that may be tuning in for the first time.
Okay, I think you got my other part, the backside of my card, which has all my services. But I do business development. There are so many small businesses. We are the economic heartbeat of all these communities, mine, theirs, yours. And it is super important that our small business owners have someone who can help them with developing out their business so that it's sustainable. So I help people put together infrastructures for their businesses that allow for them to have the sustainability that they need to be a long-term business. I specialize in social enterprise, which would be more nonprofit affairs, whether it's a 501, rather you're just in concept phase and wanting to do something for your community and needing help with structuring that. I do that. I also help with anything go Secretary of State, meaning any state matters for your corporation. I do incorporations in every state. So no matter where you're watching, I can handle your corporation in any state. But I make sure that all of the paperwork that you need is handled. If you're having some issues, as I have almost like every day, at least once a week, I do at least once a week, seriously, because there's so many people who get incorporated and get these businesses, and then they don't know that you have to pay an $800 fee every year. So then some years go by, and then they're like, "Oh, let me check on my business," or they have some type of funding that they're trying to go after, and then they find out that it's taken care of. It's not taken care of, and now they have a huge bill that is, you know,
that's been piling up ever since you've been in business.
Yeah, and now your business is not in compliance, and now it's suspended. And so many people in that suspended phase have so many issues. I've had a couple of long-term clients that had long-time businesses, and they had to change their name because they had been suspended. Someone came after a year. You can come in and take any name that's available, and someone else took their names. You know, so it's things like that.
Yeah,
that are super important for business owners, small business owners to understand. And most importantly, a lot of times with the small business owners, we're really focused on doing our craft, you know, making sure that, you know, whatever services, whatever product that we're delivering to our clientele, that's the primary focus. But there's so many things that help you to establish being a sound business owner, like customer service. What does that layout look like? What's your operational structure? You know, getting into the accounting, you know, what's that look like? What's your cash flow? Those type of things that are on the back end of your business are a little more difficult for a lot of individuals because they're more focused on the fact that they have this skill or that they have this amazing good that and product that they want to be able to give to individuals. And so just because you have a great idea and just because you have an amazing product does not mean that you're a good business owner. And it does not mean that you are in a ownership position to stay sustainable, to stay long term. That's why you see so many people who were hustlers that you know, had these great ideas, had a great product, but it didn't go anywhere because they need someone like me who's going to help them develop it so that you can make sure that all of the areas that are necessary for you to have a sound infrastructure are in place. And a lot of times, because we just have these great ideas, we just skip off into the sun and we get them done, not understanding what type of liability we're putting ourselves and our businesses in. So my job is to help the small business owner be able to reach the level of excellence that they desire for their tailored craft and for their specific business. I customize all of my services. Rather it's you just need someone to talk to, because that's a lot of times too. Sometimes people just need someone to talk to, you know.
Call me.
Right. They're like, I just need someone to call me. You know, I just need somebody to talk to. You know, I have a lot of clients that do my business therapy, which is just letting them express what's going on. A lot of times, especially my married clients, a lot of times they have these businesses, they have these family matters, and then everything in life that's going on, life be lifing, right? And so they don't know who to talk to about some of the different things that they're facing. It could be an issue as simple as, do I need a lawyer or do I not? Should I get an accountant, or is this something that I can handle in-house? Those type of things. How should I grow? I have this idea. What should I do? Or they just don't have the support that they need. And so being that extra help for them to be able to know that there's somebody that's going to help them, understand what's going on with their business, be there with them to support their business and themselves. As business owners, it's a really tough world running your own business. And so, it really is important that the smaller businesses do know that they have people out there that are happy to help them, that want them to succeed, and that know the steps that are necessary for them to be successful and for them to have a long-lasting business. And so that's what we do. I do business taxes and accounting. I do project management. I do creative work. I do fundraising. I do proposal writing, procurement. Proposal writing would be also including grants. I do any type of fundraising activities that are necessary. I'm a professional event coordinator. And so there's so many things that I can help. As I say on the back of my card, I help businesses from A to Z with solutions. It's just really important that they know that there is someone out there that has the experience. I've been doing this 30 years, since I was a teen, and I have successfully not had to work for anybody, because I watched, and because of my community, I always want to always make sure that I always say, shout outs to San Bernardino, the Dino.
The Dirty D.
Because there's a lot of amazing individuals that came out of this community, and all of us are not athletes, that are still successful in our own rights, that are still doing our own things in our own rights. And our community has everything to do with that. And so for me, definitely, as a woman who's never had to work for anybody, I was cultivated by my community. And so my business is a way that I get to give back to other individuals in the same manner that my community gave to me so many years ago when I first started out in the game. It was all of these professional individuals who had all these different degrees and all these different skill sets that poured into me, that helped me to be able to withstand some of the adversity as a business owner that we face. And so for me, it's never about a problem. It's always about the solutions type of experience.
That's right.
And it's definitely about helping individuals with creating something that they can turn into a legacy for themselves, for their families, for the community. And I know that pouring in to small business owners can help develop, a person's life to be something amazing just because I lived it. And so it's so much easier to help people when you yourself have had, the experiences of doing it and going through it. And so when I get to talk to people and go over, okay, like, what is it that you're going through? What is it that you need? Or just listening to their ideas of what they want to accomplish, whether you're at concept phase or whether you're already a seasoned business owner, I can help in whatever way that you need. And so being able to give that to people and making sure that they know that the support is out there for them is just a really big thing for me, just because I feel like I'm living in my testimony and helping to use my testimony as a blessing for someone else and teaching a man to fish. That's what I feel like my purpose here on earth is to make sure that with the skills and with all of the, experience that I had is to pay it forward and to make sure that the next individual that needs the same type of help and support, that it's available to them.
Okay. Well, you have all the information right there on the screen. It's been up there for the last at least 20 minutes. So y'all, this is how y'all get in touch with her. And I guarantee that, once you start doing business with her, most likely you'll never stop. But we got a special guest coming on. The special guest is Miss J. What up, Miss J?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on with you?
I'm just listening.
Oh, you just listening? Okay.
Said a lot of great things.
Okay. Do you look forward to starting a business sometime soon?
Sometime soon.
All right, well, we're going to go into a little break and then we'll come back.
I hate going by those stars in the sky. I'm going by those stars in your eyes. And I love you. Oh, I don't need a second look, 'cause you're what's happening in my book. And I love you. I love you. Taurus. Leo, Pisces. It makes no difference, girl, if you're in love with me. Oh, that's all I need to know. I would give all my heart and all my love. And I don't care about the stars above.
Yeah, Dickies Delectables, come in and get right. Delicious hot meals that feed your appetite. Barbecue, chicken, pulled pork, and brisket. Make time to come eat and let Dickies barbecue fix it. When the hunger pains hitting your tummy starts to rumble and growl, come on out, bring the family, bring your friends, join the crowd.
All right, we are back again with another Talon at 10. What's going on with y'all out there in the social media world? This is right.
You know I'm here. I'm trying to get me some tea and, I was playing with the humans this weekend, goddamn it. Like y'all little motherfuckers. And I didn't caught something. But I be having the potions. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to fix me on up, get me together. I will say this.
Go ahead.
That whole cut slices of onions and put them in your socks, and put them in the middle of your foot, the onions, and cover it with socks, and sleep. Yesterday I was a mess. Do you hear me? And this morning I still got like a cough, but that's because, I Chiefs. So, and I'm as addicted a little, I guess, because yesterday I just said, Shay, no, we are going to be better than that. We are going to have some self-control, woman, and we are not going to smoke today. And that didn't happen. Okay? It got about 3 o'clock. Started talking to my daddy. I was like, I had to. I was talking to my daddy. Anytime I talk to my daddy, geez Louise, I be like, the only thing that can help is the herbal essentials. Okay. So
you had no help. You had a trigger. That's called
I had a trigger. It triggered me. My family is the most triggering mofos ever. So I was like, look, it'll be okay. I'm gonna drink my little teas. I'm gonna do all my dandelion tea. Today's the farmer's market, so after I get off, I'm going to my farmer's market. I go every Wednesday. Either I'll send my assistant to go get it, or I'll go myself. But I will say that boiling dandelion roots is really good too. That cleared me up immediately. And you can just make your own little tea. Add some ginger in it, add some lemon in it, do some honey in it, and it'll clean you up. Especially if you have like pressure in your head, like a cold, like a headache. Those type of things, really, really amazing. So I just want to share some of my herbal things.
What was you talking about with the onions and the socks? I never heard
The onions and the socks? Okay, so you slice some onions, right? And then they're like where they're round. You want to make sure that they're like, and you want to get like the big pieces so they can sit in the middle of your foot, right? In the just that the middle of the palm area of your foot, right? And then you're gonna put some socks on. Now I've seen it different. Tonight I'll probably put some honey on it and then stick it, stick the onion on top of the honey and then put my socks on. But the onion, what most people don't know is you have a lot of pores in your feet.
Okay.
And so what the onion does is while you're sleeping, it extracts all of the gunk, all of the bacteria, all of the things that are not supposed to be there. It makes sure that it collects all of that for you. Meanwhile, onions are very beneficial health properties. So meanwhile, it's giving you the nutrients that you need to make sure that it's fighting any of the bacteria that's not supposed to be in your body too. So the onions I do it with my nephews. So it and kids, it really works very well if you have like toddlers or you have like, younger kids. That is a great thing. But as adults as well, y'all, if you guys is feeling some type of way, get you some onions, slice them hoes, put them underneath your foot, go to sleep, and feel good. Another thing is baking soda and salt water, warm salt water. Definitely if you put warm salt, which I haven't done yet, but if you do warm salt underneath your tongue, some warm water and salt, that's a good, and just let it sit for maybe just underneath your tongue, just let it sit for maybe, I would say no more than like 30 seconds or so. Just let it sit, kind of dissolve, and then use the rest to just really gargle with. Add some baking soda in that. Amazing. The baking soda will clean out everything because again, you got your thyroids and your glands in here that the salt water and the baking soda help to alleviate any of the stress or any of the mucus and all of that stuff that might be going on in your area, your upper chest area. So those are some of the remedies. Okay. I do herbs. I work with my Black farmers. I am a holistic goddess. I do all of the things you can do. I sell crystals. I'm completely in the botany world. And so I make my own teas. I make my own tinctures. Like I have fire ciders and elderberry teas and things of that nature. So for me, this is probably, I've gotten sick more times ever in my life. Just in this last couple of months, like 2026, I believe at the beginning of the year I was sick. And then now February, I got sick again, but I only be sick for like no more than 48 hours. Like, and that's a lot of times because of me, because I'll feel that little scratchiness. We all know when we're about to get sick. You get that little, what is that in your throat, or your nose gets a little, or you see that you're maybe just sneezing a little too much. First you thought it might have been that chick's perfume, but now you realize, nah, she just stank. It was really that somebody done got you feeling some type of way. And it wasn't her on that level. Anyways, so I would say that when you start feeling that, that's immediately when you should take care of it. Versus for me, I feel like I'm such a superhero. I'll be like, there's no fucking way I'm sick. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? There's no way. And then the next day it'll be like, oh shit, I'm sick, and then I'll jump into action, okay, well, let me, like, even last night I was like, okay, I watched TV and just was in the bed all day. I made an amazing soup. I'm very big. My friends since college have always been like, when they're sick, they'll call me and be like, "Can you make me some chicken noodle soup, or can you make me some soup?"
Yeah.
You know, so I made me some myself, and that should just be a nice thick broth. Always make sure that you have your basics with your carrots and your celery and your onions, and then don't add any of the other little things that you would normally add, because I don't think that people know how much sodium a lot of these seasonings have and things like that. Just make it simple with just, always squeeze some type of citrus, like some lime or some lemon, and salt and pepper. Keep it simple. Just salt, pepper. Make sure you put some garlic in there. Garlic is an antifungal, so garlic, especially for women, garlic is a great herb to just.
Garlic for the vampires?
I'm sorry?
Like garlic for the vampires?
Like garlic for the vampires. You want to make sure that you got a gang of garlic, because garlic is so good for your body. It's such a antifungal that will make sure that none of the bacteria is able to survive. That it's just, it makes it well worth it, especially for women. Garlic is really, and y'all can always quote me on that. You know me, Taylor. I be like, Google it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want anybody to be feeling like I just be out here just talking off the side of my neck, which sometimes I do. But even then, I'll be having some backup somewhere. I done got it from somewhere. So yeah, I would just say, like, women especially, take a lot of garlic. I should be eating more garlic. I haven't been taking care of myself, and I can tell. And then my last tip is drink some lemon honey water every day. Lemon honey water every day. Now, every woman that I have met, ladies, every woman, not even just women of color, every woman that I have met that is like in their 70s and 80s, that are, let's just say, that are senior citizens, mostly like the 80-year-olds too. I asked them, like, what is your secret? Because I'm just nosy like that. I always want to know. So they always tell me in some variation that they drink lemon, honey, and water. Now, some do it with cayenne pepper and turmeric. Some do it with ginger. Everybody does it in their own little unique way. But every woman that I have met that has been over 70 has told me that they drink lemon water every day.
Wow.
On an empty stomach, ladies. And so I would stand up, but wouldn't be appropriate today, and show you my belly, because that's a whole nother thing. Like, I don't exercise. I don't do all of that. When I learned that little tip, it also, if you drink, I drink pineapple and I'll drink ginger after I have my little lemon honey or whatever on an empty stomach, and that eats your belly fat. I have the belly to show and prove. It eats your belly fat. And you have to do it on an empty stomach, and then you can't eat anything for the next 30 minutes. And then any time that you're getting ready to break your fast, which is breakfast, when you're getting ready to break your fast at whatever time that is, you need to make sure that you break it with some fruit or vegetable. Do not break it with some type of, pancakes or bacon and that our bodies legitimately are not conditioned for that. It's just not.
Yeah.
And so because we assimilated into more of the European whitewashed way of how we handle our health, we don't understand the nutritional value in the fruits and the vegetables that we have. And so it's super important that you guys know, that there's so many different ways to cure your body. There's so many different ways to use what Mother Earth and what nature has given to us to make sure that you're staying healthy. So if you ever need anything, you guys can check me out. I got you covered. I have so many different remedies and things like that I'm happy to help with.
So it goes beyond chicken noodle soup, castor oil and rubbing Vicks on your chest?
Oh, I don't even use Vicks because Vicks has so many other chemicals in it that it's important that you know that.
But the chicken noodle soup is still good.
Chicken noodle soup is great, but make sure that I don't eat chicken because chicken is not good for my blood type. And you know how I feel, like make sure that you're eating according to your blood type. So yeah, if you want to use chicken or some type of protein, go ahead. But I wouldn't suggest really doing that. I would just like I said, just make it a vegetable soup. Unless you're trying to be fancy. And sometimes you need that protein. If I use protein, I'm going to use turkey because I don't eat chicken.
Okay. So, Miss J, you like to cook. What's your go-to when you or one of your children get sick?
Kind of like the same as she said. I make a chicken noodle, or my grandmother always used to make like a chicken and rice soup. So the kids really love that, and it's really simple. It's just like pulled chicken, rice, onions, and a little bit of broth. No extra seasonings. And that always works. It always works for me as a kid. So that's one of my favorites.
How do you make the right rice?
Yes.
I always use a jasmine rice. What'd you say?
So yeah. So
no, how do you make like the perfect rice? Do you know how to do that?
It took me a long time to learn how to make rice.
Oh, okay.
Rice, yeah, it was never easy for me. But truth be told, my son taught me how to make rice.
Wow.
Yeah, he taught me how to make rice. But you just, put you rinse your rice, put it in a bowl, rinse it, pour out the extra starches, and then you refill your pot with water. You put it on the on the fire, and you start it off low. You don't start off high. You start off low.
Okay, so you just let it low.
Yeah. Yep. You let it do its thing. And then once it gets to that little subtle boil and the water starts to disappear, then you cover it. You cover it.
Okay.
And then
So you never adjust the heat. It's just starting off low and covering.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And you start off low. You never go high. You can turn it up a bit, but as the water starts to like boil out, you want to cover it, and this is what steams the rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time you're done cooking it, there is no water left, and the rice is perfect.
Yeah, that's right. We can't hear you. Say what your mic is on.
That's okay, my bad. I was just like, rice can be difficult sometimes. So I like that you giving some advice, because I didn't have some rice. What is this?
That's why when she said it. Yeah, I'm like, what's the secret? Because
that would be the secret, and it's crazy because my son taught me how to do it. He learned from his dad. I never knew how to do it. I never knew how to use a rice cooker or anything. So I was just like, show me how to make this rice. I always had him making my rice. We make dinner. I'm like, okay, you got the rice, but now I can make it. So
I want to make rice. I'm more of a noodle person than a rice person. I mean, I'll mess with the rice, but because you got to get rid of rice the same day, and learning all of that about how bacteria grows on it, you can't store it. You shouldn't store it. You should not store rice. You should not eat rice, people, after 24 hours at all. Throw that shit away. Because if you do and you get food poisoning or stomach flu, that is why. Because it automatically, whether you put it in the refrigerator or not, it starts to grow bacteria that you cannot see after 24 hours. So do not ever keep rice after 24 hours, and definitely not after 12 hours if it's just been sitting out.
What about shrimp fried rice?
Any rice, any type of rice, do not, after a certain amount of time, after 24 hours, even if it's been in the refrigerator, do not eat it. Make sure that rice goes in the trash. You'll have to start all over again because you
All
can't eat
over.
it. It's the same thing like putting garlic in the refrigerator, or onions in the refrigerator. You shouldn't put onions in the refrigerator, and you shouldn't put garlic in the refrigerator. It starts to grow bacteria, especially if you can put an onion in there if it has not already been cut. But if you cut an onion open, do not put the remaining in the refrigerator. Put it in a nice little bag or in a container of some sort and leave it out. The onions are not meant to go into the refrigerator. And what the cold does to it is it starts to almost like a mildew type of experience with it, and it starts to grow bacteria. So definitely do not put those type of things in your refrigerator.
All right. Well, one of my producers sent me a clip. Let's see if it plays.
Sent you a clip. Man, somebody was banging on my door. Then they handed me some money, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay."
So much uncertainty. So much uncertainty. This house is not a home.
Remember, we were both struggling through college, working our ass off just to make it.
Seems just like yesterday I was H&H law firm secretary and you were working your way up at a day and night resort spa hotel.
Look at us now. Now we own 6 of them. Hey, we finally made it, my love.
Yes, we did it, baby. From this one little bedroom apartment to this big, beautiful house.
Shall we?
Yes.
Thanks for the beautiful dinner tonight. It was delicious. Just as you are, baby.
You're welcome, dear. I fixed all your faves.
Yes, you did. By the way, were you able to stop by the cleaners to pick up my suits?
Yes, they're in the bedroom in the bed. Why?
I need them for my red-eye flight tonight.
What the hell, Tommy? I was at home this weekend.
I know what I said. That's the business. I have to go and close the deal. So deal with it.
You lying son of a bitch. You said that this weekend was ours.
What do you want me to do? I have to go do it.
And this is your 4th trip this month, Tommy. What about being a husband and taking care of responsibility of home first?
I take care of my responsibilities. I bought this big ass house. I pay all the bills. I must buy the best of clothes and drive the best cars. More than one.
And I appreciate it all, but the one thing that I don't have.
Oh yeah, what's that, Patty?
I don't have you, the love of my life. I'd just rather go back to the way it was, because this house is not home.
Shut the hell up. I don't have time for this. Why don't you take your ass? Clean this dirty ass house and stop sitting on your dirty ass and talk to your dirty ass friends. Move out, Mom. I got a fight to catch, woman.
Tommy. Tommy! Tommy!
Hey. Hey, you okay?
How did you get in here?
The door was open and I heard you crying. So hey.
I'm fine. Just Tommy is leaving again.
You know what? No one should be left alone for the weekend. Here, put your head on my shoulder.
What are you doing? can't do this anymore. You're Tommy's best friend. We can't keep this up.
Yeah, well, maybe. But it's his fault he can't see what a beautiful woman you are. But I do. Patty, don't fight your feelings.
Don't fight it. Don't do it.
And thank you for being here to comfort me.
Oh, he's going.
I do have feelings for you. But this will be the last time.
Good.
He said this will be the last time.
Be alive.
What are you doing here?
Well, hello to you. I just needed a little vacation from counseling married couples. And I wanted to visit my brother and lovely sister-in-law.
Oh no, it's frozen.
Where are you staying? And how long are you going to be here?
Yeah, I don't really know. And I'll be staying here. I hope you're not trying to get rid of me.
Of course not, Chase. You're more than welcome
This
to
the
stay.
brother.
Good. Glad to miss me.
The brother just get to show up and say, the hell.
Unfinished business.
Girl, you ain't looking at him too.
Your mouth shut.
Oh, Patty. As long as you take care of me, not one person has to know our little secret.
All right, Chase, but you...
But what? Where's my brother?
Nothing, Chase. Tommy is out of town and he'll be back later. You're more than welcome to sleep in the guest room.
Fine. But I won't be staying here tonight. I'll be going down the block to go visit my ex, Tony. But I will be back to converse about my needs.
Whatever, Chase. Just
hold up.
go.
Did he say my
Please.
ex? Tony? Like as in a minute?
His need. All right, so the clip is choppy, so we ain't gonna go through the whole thing. But from what we seen so far, what do y'all think?
I think she's scandalous than a motherfucker. Okay, now there's too many of us motherfuckers out here. Okay, I mean, I'll just go first, as you can see. It's too many of us out here trying to have our man have some act right. Now, you know, if anybody know, because you one of my closest confidants, like me having to fight my man to figure it out because he a working man, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? And I guess when you away, the hoes will play. But I'm just saying, like, who is we playing with? Oh, we playing way too comfortable at home. Well, how did, oh boy, I knew something was up when he just walked into our bedroom. Why is we in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Why did you just walk in and just feel comfortable sitting on the bed? You talk about, oh, this gonna be the last time. Girl, please. Your husband ain't even been gone. He barely up the block. And okay. And then then I got a question about the brother. Because then the brother come in and then he talking like they got something going on. Like, I'm gonna come back in my needs. But I had a question. Because I was like, did he not say like I'm finna go up to Tony's house, my ex? It didn't sound like Tony was a girl. Now, I know it's a unisex name, but Tony didn't sound like a girl in what he was saying. So I was just curious, like, how deep is this little story finna get and go? Because is he fucking a man and you too? That's, I mean, teach us on, I suppose.
He seemed like he was, kind of. I don't know. I just got the clip. I was, so I haven't even went through it to make sure it plays smoothly. That's why I stopped it, because I gotta make some adjustments to it to make it play smoothly. But it just seems like the internet is rather slow.
What you think, Miss J?
But
what happened?
What did you think?
That was in a small little clip, that was a lot to unpack.
Why did that?
Yeah, same thing. I was wondering why the door was open, and you're right, like why he sat on that bed and they was so comfortable right away. I'm like, I don't know. How long this been going on?
Suspicious, like a mug. So then, okay, my thing is,
like, go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead.
I already said my piece. I'm gonna hold my comment to the end.
All right, so to me, it's like twofolds, right? As you know, I was married for 2 decades, so at some point in time, you know, the quality time with your significant other has to mean more than money. And then once you accumulate,
You a little choppy, friend.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah, I can see Miss J's face. She like, what? Huh?
I'm trying to hear.
I can tell. What is he saying? So, okay, we can see you moving. Yeah, we can hear you. You moving around. Okay.
Okay. As long as you can hear me, that's more important than seeing me.
Oh, for sure.
What
I get you.
is, after being married for 2 decades, right? At some point, you have to realize that the quality time or the moments that you share with your significant others is more valuable than actual dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once you've already accumulated money. Now when you poor and you broke and this bill need to get paid, that bill need to get paid, or you guys are gonna go without, that's something different. But once you have an access of stuff, you have multiple homes, you have different things to where you're already rich, you're already established. Yeah, you have to do things to maintain that. But at that point, the moments and the time that you spend with your significant other should mean more than going on these business trips when your wife has something planned for you, or when you promised her something. Because most of the time, me speaking from a man's perspective, women get mad. We tell them we gonna do. Like, oh, you said you was gonna do this, but then you not doing it. So now they mad. You know, when we the ones that said, all right, baby, I'm not gonna go on this business trip and I'm gonna spend time with you, but then
and did. Mm-hmm.
In time and you go on the business trip, like you lie. Like there's no other way to so, but should you get shit because you lie, or a whole nother thing. But you know, with me, and I always say this about my male friends, always hate that I say it. But with me, the success of the relationship always starts with men.
With who? With the woman?
With the man.
Oh, it starts with the man. Why you say that?
Because if we stay true to what we say, she's not gonna do nothing again.
You gonna have to act right. I respect it.
You know what I mean?
If anybody do.
If we just stay true to what we do and say,
nigga, we would have some act right. Even the worst of us, like me.
Once we not true to what we do. Yeah, but once we not true to what we do or say, then it's like, come on now. You going on a business trip 4 times, why you couldn't handle whatever you need to be handled the first time? So that's an indication that there's more to the business than the business when you have to, you know, she said, man, this is the 4th time in a month. Like, ain't that much damn business in the world. or I'm going too. We both go.
That's the thing. Like, nigga, I'm going to them. We's go. Because I mean, when it first started off, It was like we built this business together and we started in this tiny apartment and now we got this big house and you know what I mean? But then it ended up being like when he was trying to gaslight her and be like, oh, bitch, you lazy ass, get your fat ass up and cook and clean, and this house is dirty and all. I'm like, damn, that was like a switch. If you was just loving on her and eating and I just love you, baby, and you just throwing our lives and to like, I'm about to be out this motherfucker and you shouldn't be having no complaints because I take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a man's thing though, because men think that that's the only part of providing that they really got to be on is the financial part, which is, I mean, I go through it in my own relationship. Like, and nigga, I got my money too. You got money. I got money. We got money. Now what do we do with our lives? You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, like when you do get to a space, when especially like now in our 40s, like, okay, when we was in our 30s, okay, I understood because you was building and you was doing your thing. I was doing my thing. And we was trying to, you know, really live up to our own expectations of success that we had for ourselves, right? But then in our 40s now, nah, nigga, you should have, what was you doing then? Because I thought that whole time you was designating to that so that we could get to this space where now it's about how we're going to function as a couple, how we're going to function in our relationship. And I can say, just being very transparent, like with my situation, that has been the rocky point for me and him is that what do you do when you both been so focused and been career driven, and now we both are very well off. We both have, you know, what we want, what we need. We don't, you know, money is not an issue for either one of us, but timing is an issue, right? My biggest issue with him is like, I don't care how much money you or what jobs you got going on. I'm understanding, but I can only be understanding to a certain point when you're not playing the role that you need to play in this relationship, yet still having the expectations that I'm supposed to show up and be some type woman to you. No, we're not doing that. You are going to show up, like you were saying, and be the man that you need to be for me, the man that I deserve, the man that, you know, I've been working on all these years. And then that'll leave me, if you provide me that space, then that'll leave me the opportunity to be in my femininity and to be the woman that you desire. But that's why they say happy wife, happy life, nigga, because if I ain't happy in this motherfucker, ain't nobody happy in this motherfucker. Is how I feel. We all gonna be sad, nigga. We all gonna be destitute in this motherfucker. Yeah. If I am not, especially with how I'm a giver, how I'm very considerate, you know that, and I do have more patience than most do, especially, you know, in situations that have been more than a decade. You know, so I give him grace, I do. But there does come a time when you got to put your foot down and be like, look, I need you to start figuring it out as a man on what you want so that we can figure out what our future looks like together, because it's not just about us living in the present. And I think a lot of time for men, they get in this stagnant position because they've been with you so long. And they feel like, oh, well, I've already won her, so I don't have to do any of the things that I needed to do when I got her. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing in a lot of women being single is men will do what they need to do to get you, but not do what they need to do to keep you. And
that goes for both parties. Both parties have to find a way to keep the intimacy alive. And the intimacy doesn't have to just be sexual. You know, it's little dates here and there, or even if, you know, you guys call each other up and one's at this place, one's at, okay, we're going to meet back at home and we're going to make this meal together. You know, we're going to sip this little wine, or we're going to go to the park tomorrow, you know, or we're going to meet up at this time, whatever it is, you know, the togetherness in it keeps everything kosher, if you know what I'm saying. It's just it's has to be both parties. It can't just be one person all the time, because then the other person is going to feel that, you know, the other person's not putting anything forth.
Yep.
So, and
That's
that's where it all
genuinely
goes.
how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, you're not putting forth the energy that I need. And how fair is that? How fair is it that I feel like I got to do all the work? I got to figure it out for us. And I get it. Like, for him, he's like, well, I'll pay for it. Bitch, I can pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, it'd be so offensive. He like, here she goes. She got to pump off. Yes, and is. Because I need you to feel like you want, you desire me enough to want to spend that time. I think what I heard from you, Miss J, is we need to be active. We need to be actively making sure that we're spending that intimate time with each other so that we can make sure our relationship is kosher. And I think a lot of times, especially when you've been in relationships for a long period of time, especially if you got kids and stuff like that too, like it begins to take a toll on your relationship, because you're designating yourself to so many other things and not really focusing on the union that you guys have the way that you need to. So agreed. Like, both parties have to do their parts, and it has to be about action. You know, it has to be the verb, you know, of actively doing something, the do part. That's why they say faith without efforts is dead. Because you could be faithful. You could have, you know, a great relationship where, you know, you guys are harmonious and things like that. But it's always going to feel like something is missing, something is lacking if you guys are not figuring out how to have that intimacy, for sure.
Right. I agree with that.
Do y'all remember the teeter-totter on the playground?
Oh, yeah.
Do y'all remember the teeter-totter? Y'all remember what that is?
Yeah, we remember.
Yeah. You know,
it's like the thing. One person sit on one side, the other person sit on one other side. Then one person go up, the other person go down.
I had one in my backyard. I definitely know.
So that's what relationships are. Very rarely are y'all both gonna be in the middle.
Right.
Like, very rarely are you gonna be loving him like he loves you, or he gonna be loving you like you love him. Very rarely is that gonna match up. It's gonna be very few times that y'all meet in that middle ground, and y'all really feeling each other the way the other person is feeling each other. Know what I'm saying? Y'all really feeling each other like that. Most of the time, he gonna be feeling you more than you feeling him, or you gonna be feeling him more than he feeling you. It's that teeter-totter effect. So what has to come and play into that is just the communication. Like, I feel like most men don't get established, or what's established as a man is you don't be perfectly honest with your woman.
Ooh, what does that look like? What does perfectly honest look like? Could you say that, but what does that mean?
I'll tell you the conversation. Yeah. So let me tell you what that looks like. You like me, but you might like the higher or the middle part of me. There's a low part of me also. So if you could deal with the low part of me, then you have me totally. So I gotta be able to, because there's women on different, there's women on all levels, right? There's women that I can say, hey bitch, come here, and she gonna come. Know what I'm saying? But then there's women that I can't say that to. Know what I'm saying? Or women that I can say that to, and they gonna keep walking like, nigga, you not talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like the man don't never really want to expose what his lower man is, what his low man is, you know, because he might fear that he might lose his girl or whatever. But I feel like that's important that the man lets the woman know, like, damn, you know, sometimes I gotta be able to slut you out. And you know, you might have a woman that don't necessarily feel like, you know, she can handle being slutted out. So then
that's for her.
So then you lose a good woman, you know, because you feel like because you let your lower man show.
I mean, but just because she, like I tell these niggas, just because you're a good man don't mean you're a good man for me. It's the same thing with the woman. Just because you're a good woman don't mean, because let's be honest, sex is a very big part. If sexually we don't have any type of connection, it does make it a little more difficult. So if you're not willing,
that's the reason why niggas cheat.
Yeah, that is. I've been the side bitch several times in my life. That was majority of my motherfucking 20s. So yeah, I get it.
So remember, I was telling you one time we was talking. Remember we was talking one day, I think we was in Dallas, and I was like, "You gotta be able to have a real talk conversation."
Oh, you did? Hell yeah! I remember that we was on the patio. Yep, in Dallas.
Yeah, you gotta be able to have a real talk conversation.
Yeah.
If I'm not, we can't get that graphic. But if I'm not doing something right,
I was like, "Oh, we going there?" Well, hell's yeah.
If I'm not doing something right, either I gotta be man enough, right, to allow for that part of you to be satisfied by somebody else, or I gotta learn how to do that. No,
and
what I'm saying?
Not be offended by the fact that I expressed myself to you.
Yeah. Now, see, that's the part that you got to focus on, because I'm willing to express it to you and willing to be this open to you to let you know that I want to be with you. I don't want to do this. I don't want to experience this with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got somebody that can suck a golf ball through a water hose, I'm gonna need that. Not all the time, but I'm gonna need that on certain times, you know.
Let me say this from the Side Bitch Chronicles. That's what you gonna call it, okay? Because I have extensive knowledge of that, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh my God, that is so." But the reason why I'm so comfortable with it, because I don't have no ties to you, homegirl. He got a commitment to you. I'm not the one in the relationship. So if your man is checking for me, just like any of the other side bitches, I'm gonna let him check for me. Especially because when you're a side chick, you get the dopest part of him. It was like the levels that you were saying. I don't get the level or the middle level. I get my bills paid. I get the trips, the fancy trips. That's where old boy was going for the 4th time in the month. I get the exclusivity of when you come over, you are happy to see me. You are excited about our time together. You don't want it to end. You said what?
I said, "What's up, baby? How you doing? What we on?"
Here we go. I'm the type of chick, well, we gonna be doing this and we gonna do that. But more so, I will go into like the sexual part. It is that part. It's the part that when a man feels like he cannot be himself, he's more than likely going to look for a side bitch. Because
exactly.
And it does, and he could be in. This is, I mean, we've had these conversations before, but he could love you and love his family, be a great man. As I've had to have conversations with some of these wives, like I won't lie on that neither. Like, bitch, you gonna leave your man because he fucking with me? You went looking for the shit. Otherwise, you would have never found out about us. But you went looking. Because, women's intuition sometimes just be popping off. It could be that in this situation, he was just being too nice to her. She was like, but I'm going to be the one who wants your relationship to work out. Because I only want him on the side.
Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, no, don't side want the man fully, because then you got to go through everything that she's going through eventually.
Sometimes I think that's a myth too, because not every dude who cheat for the same reasons. Not every dude who step out because he's this horrible cheating type of dude. Most of the men, and this is honest, most of the men who step out, it's because the woman is lacking something. Like major, you get what I mean? And going back to what y'all was saying, they've already tried to have the conversation. They've already tried to share with you, how they was feeling, and you ignored it, or you acted like it wasn't relevant to what your union is. And so most men don't even think about cheating until they see a woman or find a woman who can give them what they're already yearning for. Desire is what gets a nigga cheating. Not just that he's like, because most men wouldn't have got married if they were gonna be cheaters like that. But if a man has already expressed emotionally, when we all know men, that's not their strongest suit, right? If a man decides that he wants to cheat, it's because he has already emotionally expressed himself to his woman and he did not feel seen or heard. So then the hunt begins.
As far as communication, you have to be willing to listen to one another, and then actively listen, not just listen so that you can reply.
Yeah.
So that you
listen
can
to
rebuttal.
respond. Yeah, that's for
but
sure.
actively listen to what this person is actually saying, because if you respond as if it's going in one ear and out the other, then there's really nothing more that person can say to you that you're going to listen to.
Process? So what's the process? Because that's to me, that's key that people know. What's the process of active listening?
I think every style of go ahead.
No, you go ahead. All right. I know every style is different.
I always talk, girl. I'm on all the time. It's so good to have a woman on, refreshing, So yes, you please go. Che got a mouth. She'll figure it out later.
Y'all going back and forth, I go. To me, the first thing is paying attention. That's the first step.
Okay.
Of active listening, because if you watching TV while I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to you, and you fucking around on your phone, like that's not active listening to me. Like, hey, look, I'm trying to talk to you.
Right.
If this is not important, then just let me know this ain't important enough for you. But we need to turn this TV off. We need to turn this radio off. You need to get off your phone so you can really hear what I'm saying to you. So to me, that's the first thing. That's the first.
Mine's just sincerity.
I would say eliminating the distractions.
I get it. That's great communication. I would say sincerity for me, because here's the thing: whether you're on your phone, whether you watching TV and listening, whatever, I do want your attention. But I think that everybody works a little different, right? But if you're not sincere in trying to understand what I'm saying, if you're not, whether the TV is off or on, doesn't matter. If you're not sincerely interested in what it is that I have to express to you, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I would say it'd be sincerity.
Okay. So sincerity.
And I would say eye contact. I need that from you. I need to know. I need to see that we are hearing each other. I need to see that we both are understanding each other. I need to see your facial expressions when I'm telling you this.
That's
so
tight.
Eye contact is a big one.
So you need to see. You need to see the
emotion.
You need to see all this. Oh, that's tight. That's tight. Yeah. So you need to actually see that this is registering or it's not registering.
Right. Right. Because a lot of times people wear their expressions. So you want to see that, if I'm talking to you and I'm really expressing myself and you're looking like this, there ain't no TV on, ain't no nothing like that, but you're not giving me eye contact, I'm still gonna think you ain't listening to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said sincerity, because like you said, rather the TV on or off, if you're not sincerely trying to understand what that this is a moment that I need from you and I need you to be present in it, then then I'm talking to the wall anyways. I'm talking to myself anyways, and I don't want that, at all. I'm so a person who fuck it, and I won't say anything. I'm sorry?
I said being present kind of covers all of it.
Being present, I think, but unless you practice that in your life, then I think it makes it very difficult for a person to really understand. And so I study like etymology, which is the origin of words, right? So when I'm speaking to people, even if I'm cussing you out from a very knowledgeable place. Like I'm using specific words that I know are tending to you the way that I would like to articulate to you on how I feel about you. So I say that to say, like, when you're speaking to someone, especially someone that you care about, and you're saying these different words and you're really genuinely trying to be thoughtful about it, if that person does not understand what present looks like, then it's going to be a problem, because lots of people, especially, you got to understand, technology allows for people to always feel like instant gratification is everything. That's the primary source. Everybody is on the go, doing what they need to do. I'm out here surviving. I'm out here trying to, right? Nobody is really taking the time to be present, even in their own life, to pay attention what is currently happening and to enjoy the blessings of what is available in your life right then. Everybody is wanting more. Everybody's trying to do more. Everybody's trying to get more. You get what I'm saying? But no one is really focusing. Well, I won't say no one. A lot of people are not focusing on being present and understanding the gifts that you have while you're in that moment and appreciating that moment for what it is or what it could be. And so if you don't have a person who's already practicing being present in their own life, it's going to be really hard for them to be present in your union, for sure.
That was the whole purpose of stopping when she said active listening, so we could break down, like, how do you do that? Like, and what does that actually look like? Okay, so what else does active listening look like?
I think active looking, I think lots of sex is actual listening, because I think the body, I'm just being honest. Yes, we go in there, okay? Because it's Talon at tip, okay? So I get to say whatever hell I want to say.
This 10 in the morning, it ain't 10 at night.
Right, well, well, look. Well, some of the freaks is up during the day, and because I think going from the conversation of the side chick to like us talking about active listening is kind of like very parallel, right? And so sex is a very big part, because, and I was talking to my daddy about this, because body language is everything. It is. And the most intimate moments that you can share with a person is intercourse, because it is the interworking of you. It is the spiritual working of you. And it is the most intimate way that exchange of energy happens, right? So when you have lots of sex, it does allow for you to have a different connection that doesn't always have to require words. That's what Babyface was trying to tell y'all, boo. He was trying to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, just saying, there's so many. Soon as I get home from work, okay? He said they be like, we don't really talk a lot, and that they don't need to worry about my relationships, because the kind of communication that me and her got, it cover a whole bunch of other things. I remember an ex, now it can be a trap, because I remember one of my exes, we would have our serious conversations while I'm sitting on his dick. That's explicit, but while I'm sitting on it, my bad, because it isn't 10 at night. But what I'm saying is that was a great way until he started to manipulate it because when we first started off and he suggested the idea, I was like, this kind of kinky, I like it, right? But I understood why he wanted to have those type of conversations, especially the hard conversations, because when you're intimate or in that type of intimate moment, it's really hard to be upset. That's why makeup sex exists, right? Because it's really hard to feel some type of way or to allow for somebody to get you out of that emotional state when they're inside of you, when you're having that energy exchange.
When you open.
So we would have our conversations. If we were getting ready to have an argument or something like that, it would be like, we need to head to the bedroom. And it worked. It worked for in our love life, it worked, but also for us, it was our relationship breakdown happened when we started mixing business. And he was not very business savvy. And unfortunately, that ended up being demise because for me, I'm a different type of businesswoman. So for me, we not going to have conversations about my money and how you fucking up my money while you in it. We not doing that. Okay. Now, our own personal shit, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about the business, no. And he would start trying to manipulate that and to be having conversations. I would have to be like, stop, like, hold up. No, we're not going to talk about that. That's not, now you're crossing over the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, but the communication in itself, we lasted so long because that was our communication form. If I could go back, the only thing that I would change is that we did business together. I should have minded my own business, literally, and not tried to step in and help him the way that I needed to and let him figure it out, but be supportive of him versus trying to be a partner with him because he wasn't ready for a partner. And that ended up being the demise in me being his personal partner, you know?
Yeah, okay. So that's interesting. You know, sex is a form of communication. It makes sense. It makes sense once you bring it up.
Yeah, the first thing I'm gonna do with my dude, and any woman will say that too, because we understand the power of pussy. The first thing I'm going to do, if I'm trying to like get in your good graces, I'm gonna give you some. Just is what it is. And can't no woman say that I'm lying. If I want something, if I feel like you need to be able to understand me from a different perspective, or I'm just like I'm saying, I'm just trying to get in your good graces. I'm gonna give you some because I know that is going to allow for his guard to come down and for him to genuinely listen or try to understand what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I be trying to tell these women. Like, you have to understand the pussy is power. The P is the P. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to use it. If you as a woman know how to use it for the greater good, all right? Because some of y'all be out here putting it on them and you just leaving these niggas out here destitute and heartbroken for the rest of us chicks. Y'all can keep that shit. Don't be doing that to these niggas. Don't be putting it on them and then throwing them back out to the dating pool. That's why the dating pool is already acidic and pissy. We need you to be releasing them back with some emotional intelligence, with some sexual, some sexual balance to them. Like these dudes, because right now, if you look at it in communication, you're either going to find in dating, you're either going to have a man who is in tune and has some emotional intelligence, or you're going to have a man that is goofy and lacks maturity. I mean, there's no real in between. There's no real gray right now in the dating pool. And I do think it is because we are hypersexualized out here, right? And there's so many hoes out here that is just giving it up and don't understand the power, that men no longer see the value in in it. You get what I'm saying? So they like, especially when the ratio to man and the woman is 12-1. So in most cases. So when you are one that's like, absolutely not, nigga, I'm not putting up with none of that shit. He like, well, fuck it, bitch. There's 11 other hoes out, right? And most of the time he's right, because just because I won't put up with it, it's so many other individuals in this world that don't want much and that are willing to tolerate a lot of shit because they don't have any standards, they don't have any self-worth or self-love. So they're easily manipulated into doing whatever it is that you want them to do, or just being shitty individuals, right? So I think that if we started getting back to like us understanding as women the power that we have in our vaginas, and not just in giving it and sharing it with them, but I don't think as women we understand that men do everything that they do for us, right? Like, I mean, the straight men, let me say that, and let's take away from the men that don't like women, because right now, as Tupac said, we gonna have a race of babies that hate the ladies that make the babies. That's what he said. And right now, when you're looking at these different podcasts and you're looking at all these different things on social media and even being a part of some of these conversations, you see that emotionally men have gone through it with women and have never found the clarity that they needed from that previous relationship that broke their heart, that now they're just going around fucking women, but to have no respect for women, don't wish to really have no type of relationship with it. They rather go kick it with their boys than, spend any time with you, or they rather, be engaged in business than, really trying to figure out how to intimately connect with you. Most of the time it's because they're facing heartbreak that has never been resolved, right? Mm-hmm. And so now, or unless they got mama issues, which we know there's lots of them out there too. But I think a lot what we see going on in the dating world right now is because of the mamas. I blame all y'all. I blame the mamas, because a lot of y'all was not raising your son to know how to be a good man to a woman. You was taking care of him, you was loving him, you was nurturing him as your child, but you were not preparing him to be a grown-ass man who is going to be, especially as a heterosexual man, who is going to be partnered at some point with a woman. And I would just say to the women who do have young men, it is your job to make sure that that your young boy is ready for this young lady. You need to teach him.
Yeah, but how does she? Let's just stop right there, because how does she do that when she probably haven't experienced that herself?
Oh,
well, with women, a lot of single moms too. They want to. Yeah, it's like they want to just protect and pamper, a man, a growing man. But then you want to make your daughter all extra strong. You know what I'm saying? So she gets with a man and she don't know how to be feminine because you made her extra strong. And then you got the boy who goes over to a woman and says, protect and pamper me, when you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be the man.
You're supposed to be protected and
treat you like your mama did.
Definitely say the roles have reversed, because you do have way more emotional men than ever, because there has been so many pamper. No, she was like spot on. Miss Day was spot on, because they have been, even with my own, like the dude I was just telling you where we would have sex to communicate. His mama is the one who told me, hey, you know what? I have been unhappily married for 38 years. I do not want that for you. You are an amazing woman. I see how you treat my son. I see how you love on him. I did not do my job in making sure that my son was prepared for a woman like you. And I would not wish what I'm going through with his father. And let me say this to you. He is a lot like his father. And she left it at that. So when we got into the thick, when I really got to the space where I was like, I can't do this with this nigga. And then, you know, life really happened, and we had our own tragedy. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to heal from both at the same time and move on. And then I tried to see if we could reconcile maybe about a year later, 7 months later, something like that. And the mom was like, I called her like, yeah, so I'm thinking about it. And, you know, I talked to him, and she's like, it's pretty much like, fuck, I told you that you needed to get the fuck away.
At least she told you, because a lot of moms will not. You know, they will know exactly who their son is and will never say anything to you.
Yeah,
you know,
I've been blessed.
Encourage the bull that he's putting you through. You know, so yeah, you got lucky that she actually did.
I get lucky with the moms. I'll be honest. Even like my dude now, like he always be like, you spoil my mom so much. I'll be like, because Nick, if it was not for your mama, yes. If it was not for your mama, none of this would even happen. None of this. None of this would be possible without your mama. So I think it's important that, you know, that we do take responsibility as women, and knowing that it's that we need. And let's go back real fast to what you said, Talon, because I want to make sure we answer it. Like you said, well, how does she do that if she has never been loved correctly, right? Or she don't know the love of man. I will say this. It does become really important on who you are as a woman. And I'm so thankful to have the father that I have, because when me and my dude started talking about marriage, that was the thing. It was like, well, you come from a family where your parents been together 50 plus years. You know what I'm saying? I come from a divorced family. And my mom, as Miss J was saying, she raised me to be a very independent chick, because that's who she is. She's very, and that's why I didn't really work with my parents, because my mom didn't want to give up being this independent woman. She did not know how to be a partner. And she likes to play solo, and still to this day, she likes to play solo and do that. So I had to tell my man, I had to step away from my pride and really say, like, look, my dad has taught me how to be, you know, a queen. I take very good care of my dad. So yeah, I know the type of woman that I desire to be. I know how to cook. I know, you know, how to provide in being the woman that I am. But in regards to seeing that type of functioning relationship, I have not. And I had to understand my shortcomings, because in some of the ways that he moves like, well, you know that we're together, you know, we already got all these years under, I want to get married and you need to figure that out. Well, I never thought I was going to get married, because that was just never it. I watched my parents have a beautiful co-parenting situation. And so I was always big on, you know what? I just want to be able to co-parent with my person. If he wants to get married, so be it. So anyways, I end up with a nigga who he want to get married. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind getting married, but you're expecting for me to be like that. I guess the average woman who's like, all you got to do is show up. All you got to do is, get me a ring and I'll do the rest of the work for the wedding. But you didn't get that type of woman, because I am very much so in my masculine energy, because I've had to be, and I've had to be that majority of my world, because I'm a business owner, because I take care of my family, because I am literally, for me, even being the baby, if I'm still the matriarch, because I was the first one to see money in my family. Right. Yeah. So it's different for me going into a relationship. And like I was telling him, like I was hoping to get into my personal life with him, and then it be where I could be submissive. I could allow for him to make the decision. But what I had to realize is I don't have that type of dude. I have the type of dude who wants me to make decisions, who wants me to be not the lead, but to make sure that, like, the best way I can say is, who wants me to be in charge. That's pretty much what he is. For him, leading is, you tell me what it is that you want. My job is to make you happy, because that is what he watched his parents do. at, you know what I'm saying, in regards to being in a loving relationship in a marriage, right? A functioning, beautiful marriage. And I've been around his parents, so I know. But his mom gave me the baby about 10 years ago. She gave me some insight right before I turned down his proposal the first time and moved to California because my family needed me. And unfortunately, I just had to choose them. But she told me, you know, I asked her, I said, how did you know that your husband was the one? And she said, what do you mean the one? I mean, like, the one that you're going to spend your life with, the one. She's like, well, baby girl, I don't know necessarily if he was the one that I thought, it was going to be. I got with the one that was going to give me the best life. I was like, damn, that's deep. She was like, so the question, she said, I have a riddle for you. And you got to understand, like in the setting that I'm in, I'm at his mama's house. There's flowers because he buy his mama flowers every week. Either his daddy buy them or he'll buy them. They got all this property and land, and so and all the kids. She's such a homemaker. So the house is smelling like food and shit like that. I'm like, damn, this is the kind of life I would want. You know what I mean? So she's like, the riddle is, if you're on a horse, do you lead the horse or does the horse lead you?
Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean, lady? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even ride horses like that. Like, what is we talking about? And it wasn't until
what you was talking about the power.
Huh?
It comes full circle to what you was talking about earlier about the power.
How so? I can't wait to hear it.
The person leads the horse, even though the horse is more powerful than the person. The horse is bigger than the person. The horse has more strength than the person. The horse is carrying the person around, but you have the power. You have power over the horse.
You're holding the reins.
Yeah. Now, I promise y'all, I did not get it until one day me and him is having an argument. I promise you. That's why I stopped to hear what both of you guys' perspective was about it, because I didn't get it until one day we're in an argument. And I was like, and it's like what your mama said, like, what the fuck did that even mean? Like, I'm on some horse and she talking about does a horse lead or do I lead or some shit like that? And he was like, he's so chill. He's always so fucking chill, make me so mad. But he's like, baby, like, wouldn't you lead? I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean when I lead? And he pretty much said what Miss J said, like, you have the reins.
Yeah,
you're the one with the direction. The horse is the power, like you said, but you got it. He said it's just like a car. Yeah, the car is prepared to take you wherever you need to go, but you got to drive.
You got to drive it.
And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So then going back to the relationship, especially with the picture, like at this point, I'm like, okay, what direction am I going in? And then how does that balance with the man that I have? Are you saying that the man is my power? Are you saying that he is the one who he's the car and the vehicle? And then as the woman, my job and my role is to then make sure that we're going in the right direction? Or is it that the man is supposed to be the one who's leading and directing where we're going, and I'm supposed to be the car or the horse, and the power in this situation?
Yeah.
I that part of the riddle, I still don't know. So I posed the question to you two.
Well, that's where, to me, I have yin and yang, like the balance of the earth and the teeter-totter effect. Sometimes you're gonna have to lead, sometimes you're gonna have to let him lead. It just goes back and forth. It's never like equal or even,
because both can lead. I mean, the horse can lead itself, and you can also hold the reins to lead the horse, but the support is where it comes in. Both, you always going to need this support.
Well, now that I own horses and have a ranch and all that other shit, I know a little bit more about horses, and I will say a horse will just wander if you don't
Yeah.
give it direction. So
Yeah.
you do need to make sure that it does know where it is going. Otherwise, it'll go wander and then it'll just come back home the way
Yeah.
that it's where that's just how the horses work. They'll go, they'll roam the property, eat what they want to eat, do what they want to
It's
do, play
like
with
the
each
men
other.
that be out there cheating. They
Yeah.
go home and they come back up because they ain't got nobody taking the
They ain't got no
reins, man.
direction.
Yeah, they ain't got no
That's true.
direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss J, let me ask you this. When you see this picture, what do you think? What do you see in this picture?
When I look at the picture, I see more like he's leading, but she's happy for him to lead.
Okay.
That's what I see. I see like he's going in the direction and she's following, but I see the little rose and she looks awfully happy to be carried along. So,
okay.
You mean dragged? Because literally he's dragging it. Her motherfucking hair. But yeah, I'm with everything else you said. But listen, he ain't carrying that bitch. He definitely is like, he looked like he smacked that bitch over the head and said, "Come on." And she said, "Oh, God, it's so awesome. Where are we going?" And she just, "Does he love me? Does he love me not? Does he love me? Does he love me not?" With the damn flowers that she got in her hand. Right? And he's like, "I need somebody to make my house into a home. So you need to come with me." Yeah, I just wanted to hear your perspective. We've heard all different types of perspectives around here, Dallas,
Yeah, around the United States.
Around the United States, we've heard different perspectives, but I think your perspective is the more basic of what's happening here. The most logical of like, yeah, she looks happy. I mean, clearly there's a heart over it. So he's doing what he needs to do, and he's the muscle, like you said, he's the leader, and she's just happy to be dragged along to whatever he got going on. And I think that a lot of times that's how men think that women should be handled.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the era of the woman that you have now, especially with Miss Independence out here, and I need to be a strong Black independent woman, they don't understand that hit us as hard as the feminist movement that the white ladies got popping in these streets, because now we are so willing to be by ourselves before we're willing to try to figure out how to work it out with somebody and to be someone else's partner.
And that would be the reason, when you don't feel that anything is going to last, then you have to choose yourself. You have to choose yourself. You have to be like, well, I don't, at the rate that this is going, and I see this person in their relationship and this one, and nothing is working, I have to be able to work for myself.
Yeah,
I can only trust me. And that's where I think that's where it is. It's just there's a breakdown in the trust that the two have, and the woman has to choose herself. And that's where that's where I'm going with this. So, or
the expectations that people have of each other that are unrealistic in these relationships. Because I love that you said choose yourself, because I just did a podcast a couple of days ago, and that was one of the things that we were talking about. They were bringing up like almost some of the situations with like Cassie and Diddy, right? Mm-hmm. And I always think that when I'm on a male-driven podcast, it's always like wanting to, see where they're going with it. And in that situation, as always, I have a different perspective because I'm a different type of chick. I was raised by a dude. My mom didn't really play the role the way that most mothers would have. My dad played the role of being my primary parent. So my perspective is always kind of logical first in that regard. But I said with the Diddy situation, they were like, yeah, because Do you feel like she put herself in that situation, or do you feel like, you know, he should be in jail or any of that? And I was like, no, because I don't. And they're like, what? Why not? First of all of those people were grown. And now that we done went through the court cases and things of that nature, nobody was kidnapped and any of that. All of you guys decided that you, from the prostitutes to Cassie, you guys decided that you wanted to be that person because of the money. Let's just be honest. And even with Cassie, you went all of these years and was this woman, you letting people pee in your mouth and you letting gay niggas fuck you and him, you know what I'm saying? And him, what, everything was copacetic until you wanted to move on from this dude. And then even when you guys moved on, you guys was friends for years. And then you blackmailed him and was like, I'm either going to drop some shit on you or you're going to give me $30 million for all the shit that you did to me. And I just was like, I thought that was fucked up because I've dated lots of niggas with large capital. And so very young. And so I know what it feels like to be with a man who has that type of power, that has that type of money, that has, right? And every woman has had to come to a space that's been in those type of situation where, like you said, Miss J,
they gotta choose themselves.
I gotta fucking choose me. I remember looking in the mirror and crying and being like every time I see that domestic violence commercial that you play, it when she says like I cried and I had to ask myself, do I deserve that? I think there every woman who's been in that certain type of place where you've been abused because financially he feels like he can be that type of person to you. We've all had to get to the situation of, do I choose me or do I choose this lifestyle? Because there's only so many shopping sprees that you can have. There's only so much that the money will cover up when it comes to the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, you know, the mental abuse.
Like in Cassie's case, when she signed that record label, she was 17 years old. So for you to be that young and then be with a man who's already experienced life and has so many women and has such a big dad that he has, you know, I don't want to call it grooming, but she didn't have the right mind. She'd been through nothing yet.
She had though. That's people are in that. Then you got to watch the case because that's not the truth. When she first got with Diddy, she was already with an older man, and she solicited Diddy. That's how her and Diddy even got close because she had made a tape with another grown ass man and asked P. Diddy to help her to get the tape back from the grown ass man. So you're not talking about an innocent woman who came into the situation and did not know, you know, what to expect. No, she seen it come up, and I'm 17. By 17, I was on my own too, and doing my own thing, which is how older men got access to me. My first dude was 8 years older than me, you know, and then the next one was much older than me, you know, so I get it. But when you hear the totality of what their situation was, it wasn't a grooming situation with Cassie. It wasn't.
That's why I didn't want to use that word. I didn't want to use grooming.
I get it, but I felt what you were saying.
The mind of a 17-year-old is not all the way there. It's not all the way developed. Like you said, your man was 8 years. My man was 15 years older than me at the age of 18. And I had no idea what I was putting myself through, what I was getting myself into until many years down the line, you know? So it's like when your mind is that young and you're dealing with somebody whose mind is not as young as yours, you know, it's like the manipulation is there. It's always there.
I think it's the manipulation, though. I just want us to be honest about the manipulation is on both parts. She knew what she wanted and he knew what he wanted. Now, I do agree with you in the age difference, but because, like you were saying, you dated someone older, I didn't feel that way. with my dude who was 8 years or damn near 20 years older than me, which was the dude after him. I didn't feel that way. But again, my lifestyle, was different because by the time I was 15, I was already making my own money. I was already figuring it out on my own. I was already living, the life that I needed to live, as a young woman. So I think it does become more maturity. And because both of the niggas will tell, well, one is passed on, my first, he's passed on. But even then, till the day he died, we talked, because I was at a different maturity level and a different financial level than most men. So I dated men who were so much older than me because the men that were my age could not compete at that level.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I had to get forced into a situation of like, okay, if I want to date somebody at the same caliber of me and the same maturity as me, then I have to go out and date older. And a lot of us women, when you start talking about when we started dating, most of us started with much older men. So we're not going to act like
what y'all saying. Older niggas ain't shit. What y'all saying?
No, I'm saying women mature faster than men do. That's facts. That is a biology.
Yeah, he was much old, like y'all. The older niggas ain't sounding like they're in a good space right now.
No, because I think that us women. That's why I'm saying we got to take responsibility too, because us women most of the time prefer an older man because you guys are more established, because you guys have more of the things that we feel like we desire, especially if you have a daddy, because then a lot of us are looking for the same type of care and the same type of quality of a man that a boy cannot give us. You know what I'm saying? So we go to dating these older people. Unless you got your man in college, majority of us ended up with somebody much older than us. And even in now, in our age groups now, most of us are still with older men. Most of us are not dating niggas our age.
Man, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I don't feel there's anything wrong with that. But in some cases, I just feel like in some cases there will be a manipulation on that part, just because there's all kinds of abuse. There's financial abuse. There's domestic abuse. So a lot of that comes into play because when you meet a man that young, and like you said, when you were 15, you had everything established, but not everybody is like that. Not every,
oh yeah, for sure.
Not every young woman is like that. Maybe she, is not established. So she not only wants, but needs that person, and then you never know, that manipulation could come into play. And it's like, okay, maybe he showed a side that she never would have thought she would ever seen. So now she's like, okay, this is not for me. Okay, if this is not for me, then you about to be out there homeless. That's what you about to be.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this though, in counter, just being devil's advocate and sharing my own experience, because I do understand that my experience is different. As most women, we all different. We all have had our different experiences. But what I will say is the men who manipulated me was the niggas that was my age. I've never been with an older nigga. Even the one that I was talking about where I had to look in the mirror because he had so much money, the Persian dude, he was my age. He was this older man who, because majority of the older men that I dealt with, and I will say even my girls dealt with, these are men who have a desire not to be with some young chick because she's so much younger, on some like almost pedophile type shit. It's more like, okay, she's younger, but I do have an appreciation for how her mind works, how her maturity is, her youthfulness. They can appreciate that part. But I can tell you so many stories though that we don't talk about. And it is maybe getting off the subject, but it's kind of staying on the subject, where there's been so many dudes that I have dated that their first experiences were with much older women. That's where their first sexual experiences were with much older women. So then when we were talking about manipulation, I have so many dudes that I know babysitters, teachers, people, women who were much older than them were the first ones to give them some pussy and were the first one to be intimate with these individuals, that it kind of overshadows, to me, the experiences of a lot of us young women have had with us older men. Because for a generation, even when you go into other cultures, majority of those cultures have younger women with older men, right? Unless they are marriages where they are, suiting them together for family reasons and things like that, and they're of the same age. But majority of the way that our societal structure happens with men and women is different. But I think that we don't talk enough about how many young boys were taken advantage of by older women. And like I said, from my homeboys to the men I've dated, all of them first experiences were with much older women. So if we're going to talk about the manipulation that older men have, we also gotta give some of that to the older women, and how they're already sexualizing these young boys before they even have a real opportunity to get with a woman and get to know her and understand her in a relationship format, because that some older woman has already taught him how to hit it and lick it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we never talk about those situations. We always just leave everything when it comes to the sexual deviances of people on these older men. And we do need to start speaking up on these older women, because it's happening every day. I don't want to leave my nephews or my young boys, my G baby, none of them, with an older woman, because I have heard so many stories of young boys getting their virginity taken by a babysitter that was in their 18, 20 years old. And one of the dudes, he's as young as 6 when he lost his virginity. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I just want to make sure that it's not one-sided in that regard.
Yeah. No, I've heard about that. I've heard about it like a lot. Like back in the day, they used to do that a lot. Like it was okay to, bring a little boy to a house full of strippers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was encouraged. It
was encouraged.
I get it. I totally get it. It's not one-sided.
Yeah.
So final thoughts. How do we package all this up?
Oh, because this was so good, Miss J. I loved you. This was such a pleasant surprise. You were so great on this. I mean, I feel like we had really great conversation. I will say that we kind of bring it full circle with, especially after watching the clip that we watched, which is, people will be people, and we all come with our different experiences, which have unfortunately and sometimes fortunately helped to shape who we are as adults. I think no matter whether you got the money, whether you're married, single, broke, I think that we need to start having more dialogue and communicating with each other. We need to create safe spaces for both women and men to be able to share what their emotional baggages and experiences have been, as well as women. I think that the floor needs to be more equal on listening when a person is vulnerable. And before you're intimate with someone, I think that it's really important that you do have these type of conversations so that you can save that person and yourself a lot of heartbreak and time. That's what I would say.
Okay. Miss J, how would you sum all this up? How would you package this up and put a nice little bow on it?
Kind of like the same, kind of going where she said, it's like we need a lot of communication and a lot of safe space to have that communication, even like as far as when we're talking about marriages and just 2-person relationships. I think we just to be able to step outside the fact that I'm your person and just be your friend at that time. Can I step out of that and just talk to you as a friend right now, and not have you be offended by what I say?
Yeah.
Or have me not be offended by what you say. And I think if we can do more of that, then it'll be a better type of situation.
What did Music Soul Child say? We used to laugh. Now we get mad. Man, I just want my friend back.
Or like my homie, Mr. Ellison says, is you forgot to be my homie. You know what I mean? You gotta be my. That's what he says. That's what him and his wife been together 30 plus years, and that's his thing. He like you gotta be a homie. You can't just be the lover. You gotta be a homie.
Got to, and you gotta know that those are two separate roles.
Right, but you must hold them both.
But you must hold them both down. Exactly.
And give them the same amount of attention, because I think that is important too. Like, me being your friend is just as important as me being your lover. It is. And it's gonna require in certain moments for, like you said with the teeter-totter, for me to be more here and more there sometimes. But you have to be consistent with knowing that you got to stand on business about both.
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us at Talon at 10, and we'll see you again at Talon at 10. Peace out, y'all.
Southern boy certified. I don't really understand, why they do this to me. Talon and Roman, don't say nothing at all. 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 I'm hearing whispers on the street about some things that I really can't believe. People talking, spreading lies over me. I don't know why they coming for me. They say I did things that I never done. No. They say that I'm guilty, but I'm not some fun. No.
Liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. Be fibbing. I heard rumors around town. People talking and spreading lies. Can't trust nobody who don't have a purpose.